Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be tasting a Japanese snack that I saw online and I purchased because I was just so curious about it. Which is this. It's a snack in a pizza box, but it's not pizza. It's French fries, but they're dried French fries. It's called Friet. French fries are specialty. Dip in dried frites. Friet, I believe, is short for pomme frite, which means French fry, potato fry, popular all over Europe, popular all over the world, and not surprisingly, because they're absolutely delicious, very popular in the US as well. I paid $20 for these. What I found very curious about them is that they include a dipping sauce. 2 sauces, I believe. Very interesting graphic design, and it gives you the dimensions of the box, which I find curious. Packaging information in Japanese. But I don't enjoy the harmony between the dip sauce and dried frites. Harmony. That's very cute. We have the unsalted wedge cut, and there are 2 packages of those. This is the unsalted slice cut. Looks like the sauces are in here. Instructions on how to eat them. Oh, look at this. This is great. Comes with 2 little to-go cups. The original dip sauce in ketchup and the original dip sauce in smoked cheese. Place this here. Oh my gosh, these are exactly what you would get in a bar, right? Oh, that's so nice. And then we're gonna do smoked cheese. Oh yeah, definitely smells smoky. Liquid smoke or smoked Gouda. And you can use the chopsticks to squeeze the sauce out completely. Oh, look at that. I actually don't like that. That's really difficult to do. I'm just gonna use my fingers because that is what I've always done and it works fine. Now the ketchup. Curious about this because I'm a fan of Heinz, I have to say. All I can smell is the smoked cheese, all that smoky smell. That looks like standard ketchup, although it doesn't look as red. It looks a little bit darker in color. It smells more like a tomato sauce. Usually when I think of ketchup, I think of vinegar. That's a lovely presentation, I have to say. Unsalted slice. Smells great. Smells like potato chips. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. But there are not very many in there. These are made from special potatoes, by the way. Belgian potatoes. Oh, they're beautiful though. Look at that golden yellow color. And very thick. They look like freshly cooked potatoes, but as you can hear, they're hard. They don't look dry though. Okay, now let's open the wedge cut. And they're lovely. They look just like fries, like steak fries. Beautiful, except they're hard. Can you hear that? Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna try the one that looks like a French fry. Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Did you hear that crunch? It's huge. Crunchy, crunchy, lovely potato flavor. And an inherent sweetness to it. Not like an additional sweetness on the outside. It's not any kind of coating. It's the taste of the potato. It has a really great potato-y flavor. Not at all salty because these are unsalted, but it's really good and crunchy. You can definitely taste the oil, so it's very similar to a potato chip in that sense. It has that nice fried potato flavor along with that great potato-y flavor. But what's different is the amount of crunchiness. It's much more of a substantial crunch rather than being a light or even crunchy, thin crunch. It's bigger, it's more to bite through. And when they say dried, I think they mean freeze-dried. If you've ever had any freeze-dried fruit before, you know kind of what I'm talking about when I say crunch. This is much firmer than any kind of other freeze-dried. Oh no, that's not true. I have had freeze-dried green beans before, and that has a pretty substantial crunch. It's kind of like these two. I think that's the process they are alluding to when they call these dried French fries. I think they've been freeze-dried. There's kind of a spongy structure to them, yet crisp. Delicious. I do want some salt on these, but I think because these were made to be dipped in, that's why there's no salt. Let's try the thick slice version. See how that one is. These are even crunchier. I think I actually like the thick cut potato chips more, even though they're fries. Maybe because I have an association with potato snacks that are crunchy with potato chips, and this is a little bit more like a potato chip experience, is why I'm favoring this one. But I think this one has a more intense potatoy flavor as well. I don't know if these are different varieties of potato. These wedge ones have a little bit of skin on them, not much, while the thick cut potato slices have no skin at all. But again, really delicious potato flavor, a slight sweetness. Doesn't taste rancid at all or greasy. Great crunch without feeling oily. And I do think saying a dried French fry is a correct descriptor, although I don't know how attractive that sounds, to be honest. But let's go ahead and try these dipped in the sauces. All right, we're gonna go back to the French fry and dip that into the cheese sauce. Whoa, that's quite the cheese sauce. I've never had anything like that before. First thing I notice is that it's intensely smoky. It reminds me of Gouda cheese, in that sense, smoked Gouda cheese. Really strong smokiness. And then there's a little bit of sweetness and tanginess in it. It's a little bit like a dressing. It's good. It almost tastes a little boozy too. At the very end, you taste a kind of creamy, cheesy flavor. I think when I think cheese sauce, I think nacho cheese, melty, plastic, kind of more of a dairy, general dairy flavor rather than any kind of intensity. This is super complex, intense, smoky, tangy, a little bit sweet, and then the cheese comes kind of at the very end, which usually I find the experience is kind of reversed. Definitely my previous experiences with cheese sauces is influencing this experience, but not bad. I'm liking it more. Let's try it with the thick chip. I do love how dippable it is and the texture. Very interesting. Super smoky. Wish it was cheesier in the front in the beginning more. Into the ketchup. Whoa. That's a very different ketchup experience for me too. When I think of ketchup, I think of Heinz ketchup. That's sort of my benchmark for ketchupness. This is much more tomato forward for Heinz. I feel like it's more vinegary, a little bit sweet, and it has that processed tomato flavor. You know what I'm talking about? You know. This tastes more like a tomato paste, very tomatoey. Let's try it on a thick chip. So it's quite tart. It's thick, which is what ketchup should be, I feel, but it's a little bit thicker and it's not quite as translucent. Another thing I really noticed is the spice profile is a little bit different. The tomato ketchup I'm used to has a little bit of clove oil in it. This seems much more spicy. Not spicy hot, but just more spicy flavorful. So there's some clove in there, maybe some cinnamon. Is that what I'm tasting? It's almost going into the realm of barbecue sauce, but I think it's because I'm also smelling lots of the smoky smells from the cheese sauce that I'm kind of, speaking of combined, let's combine it. We'll do some cheese sauce and some ketchup. Yeah, it almost becomes barbecue sauce. Wow. The sauces I think are a little too fancy for me, but the chips or fries, dried fries, delicious. Let me know in the comments if there are any snacks, treats, foods, products, things that you'd like me to test out or try. I learned so much from you, and I love hearing from you. All right, my lovelies. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Check out my Emmy Eats playlist. I eat food from all over the world. You can see me, baby Emmy, tasting foods from all different countries. If you haven't seen that playlist, again, I'll put that link down below. Alrighty, my lovelies. I shall see you in the next video. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye.